Okay, so today it's time to talk about something that many people in the music industry, including me, seems to be extremely afraid of talking about. And that is hearing aids. Yeah, hearing aids. My name is Per Moneo, and together with my wife and business partner Irene, we run this channel, Navigate Tinnitus, where we discuss everything about tinnitus and hearing loss for sound engineers and musicians, or basically everyone working with music in sound form. Hearing aids. Just to hear the word hearing aid scared the heck out of me before. Because the truth is that I don't even know one sound engineer mixing music with hearing aids. And yet we all know that we who work in the music industry, either if it's musicians, composers, sound engineer, we get exposed to so much sound, so of course there must be a great deal of us having hearing issues, including me. It's almost 4 years ago since an ENT told me that you need hearing aids. And when he said that, the world just crashed in front of my eyes. And it felt like, okay, that's it. No more music for me. This is it. This is the end of a life working with music and sound. But you know what? I was so wrong. And I am so grateful for that today. Because before, I thought hearing aids was the most disgusting things I ever could see. I could not imagine myself in 1,000 years wearing hearing aids. And here I am today, wearing hearing aids. And the idea I had about hearing aids was that a person that gets hearing aids can't mix music anymore. Because then the ears probably must be in such a bad shape that it's not possible to work with music and sound. What I didn't realize, and what most people don't seem to realize, is that hearing aids is what makes it possible to continue working with music and sound, even if your ears is not what they used to be. In my case, my hearing fails in the higher frequencies. It goes down. And what the hearing aids does, it's basically acting like an equalizer at the front of house console, where you can adjust the equalizer and tone depending on what the room sounds like. And the hearing aids, they work in the same way for me. They adjust the frequency curve that is going down. And this is important to understand. If you're wearing hearing aids with domes, these small rubber pieces around the speaker, some of them have lots of holes and some ones are more like a closed boxer with small holes. What they do is that when you plug in your hearing aids, it lets most of the sound goes through the domes. Yeah. So 99% of the sound I hear is totally acoustic, just going through the domes. Even though it's just tiny holes in the domes, they have such a good way letting sound through. And what the hearing aids are putting into the speaker, in my case, is only the higher frequencies that my natural hearing can't hear that well. So the only thing my hearing aids amplify is actually the higher frequencies that in my hearing has started to fade away. And the result is that I get high frequencies back in my hearing. I am now closer to what I used to hear before. And just like the equalizer on a front of house console, I can tune the equalizer on the hearing aids so that it amplifies just as much that I need to have. So hearing aids are in fact not the end of a life with music and sound. Hearing aids is exactly what I need to be able to continue work with music and sound. Without hearing aids, that would not have been possible. So if you know that if your hearing isn't perfect, then my best tips to you is to don't be afraid of hearing aids. If a doctor tells that you need hearing aids, go and get them! So my hearing aids makes it perfectly possible for me to mix both live music and here in the studio, which is something I could not have done without them. In some senses, it's like wearing glasses. No one would question a journalist using glasses. No one would question a visual artist wearing glasses. No one would question a car driver wearing glasses. So how come, when it comes to music and sound, that it seems like we are supposed to be having perfect hearing our whole life, even though we are exposed to more sounds than most people? And for me, I am so grateful I got my hearing aids. That makes it possible for me to keep working with music and sound. And some of my best live gigs I have done with my hearing aids on. The hearing aids are a little bit like calibrating my ears to my new situation. That's one way to see it. And there are actually a couple of positive side effects of wearing hearing aids. The first is that whenever I come into a live venue, I can check if the hearing loop is working. I just switch my hearing aids into the T-coil mode and I can hear everything that everybody else with hearing aids will hear in that venue. Isn't that awesome? I don't have to rely on some PFL listening through headphones and guess that everything's working. No, I just check it myself. And if someone approached me as a sound engineer and asked me if the hearing loop is on, I can say, yes it is. I tried it and I verified it myself. I don't have to put up with a lie. The second thing is that I now have the best possibility to make the best live mix I can to the hearing loop, so that all the other people in the audience with hearing aids get as good sound as possible in the hearing loop. The third, maybe I should sit over here, so could I put a text here? I think that's much better. Let's try it. Okay, so the third positive effect has to do with confidence and respect. I was at a really big live streaming event, a big Swedish company. We're doing a live stream, lots of speakers changing, and I was there and having the role microphone man. I was the one changing the headsets for all the speakers coming into the venue. And there was one younger woman came in and I can right away see that she was anxious. She was not comfortable at all, especially when I came there with my headset and wanted to put it on her head. And she just said, "Oh, wait a minute, I don't think this will work." "Oh, why not?" I said. And she said, "Well, I'm wearing glasses and I am wearing hearing aids. So I'm afraid that the headset will get caught in my hearing aids or my glasses. It's so much stuff behind my ears." Then I could just give her a big smile, staying calm and say, "It's perfectly fine. It's going to work perfect. I know that for myself because I am having hearing aids as well. And I also had glasses at that gig. I took off my hearing aid and showed it to her, put it back. And she said, "Oh, I didn't know that. So how are we going to do this?" And I just answered, "Let me put a headset on, carefully here, a little bit more gentle and careful than I usually do, making sure that they don't hook up with hearing aids." And I told her, "Hey, look, this works excellent. And when you are ready and coming back from stage, I will still be here and I will carefully help you take it off. Because it's when you take them off that everything can tangle and hearing aids and glasses and headset just gets into a mess. But I'll be here and I'll be supporting you. It will work up just fine." And I could see how she immediately relaxed. Her shoulders went down and she looked a lot more calmer than when she arrived. So here I was at this spot, and just because I have experienced myself with hearing aids, I could calm that person that felt very uncomfortable wearing hearing aids. And during that live stream, I think that's the person I get the best connection with. Because we had something in common that was really, really important, and that not was an issue at all. And another positive side effect of wearing hearing aids is that for all of us, our hearing is a little bit different from day to day. Some days we can take a lot of sound pressure, and other days we are a little bit more sensitive to sounds. Sounds familiar, right? And the first thing I do when I come into my studio, I put on my reference list and I listen. And this time I don't listen to what the room sounds like or what my monitor speaker sounds like. I listen to what my hearing sounds like for today. So if my hearing is a little bit more sensitive, I usually get very sensitive to their higher frequencies. Then I just turn down my hearing aids 1 or 2 steps. So I am able to calibrate my hearing as it is from day to day. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I guess you can tell that I'm pretty happy with my hearing aids. Oh man, I didn't thought I was going to talk that much about hearing aids. I thought this was going to be a 2-minute video, but I guess it's not. And I think we have to come back to a couple of these topics later on, because there is so much to say what it's like working with music and sound when wearing hearing aids. And if you think that resonates with you, why don't you just click that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't, and hit that notification bell as well, and you won't miss a thing from this channel. I am so grateful that you watched so far in this video. That means that you care about your hearing, and we all should. And it also means that you have some kind of interest talking about these kinds of things. What it's like working with music and sound, even though our hearing is maybe not the best anymore. And I think, yeah, we all could benefit so much if we just talked more about these things. And that is exactly what we are doing on this channel. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, like button, and notification bell. And yeah, we have plenty more stuff to talk about, but we do that in the next video. Ciao.